Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Epic Vision Zone. My name is Jane Applegath, founder of the Epic Vision Zone, where we say it's your life, your story, make it epic. Every show, we offer you an inspiring person or message to bring you closer to living your epic life now. Thank you for being here. You can listen to the audio version on your favorite app or watch it on YouTube, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Miguel Torres wrote, "Greatness is a journey that begins with the impossible and turns into the unforgettable." Ana Massette is a researcher, hypnotist, and a creator from Brazil with a unique ability of bridging the worlds of science and spirituality. Ana coaches clients to connect with their inner guidance and enhance their intuitive abilities to create the life they desire. As the founder of Must Take Action and the author of Emotional Liberation, Mastering the Art of Releasing Anger, Sadness, and Fear, Anna's passion is empowering individuals to break free from past traumas and step into their true potential. Using an innovative approach that includes somatic movements, hypnosis, technology, and emotional freedom techniques, Anna has transformed the lives of several clients, helping them to achieve true prosperity that encourages wealth, health, and relationships. With a deep desire to help others thrive in the name of expansion, Anna coaches her clients on how to use their emotions as catalysts for transformation and growth. She says as long as she is experiencing life, learning, and creating, she is the happiest human alive, and I believe it. Welcome, Anna. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me. It's just a pleasure to
My
meeting you and be with every one of you.
Absolutely, and my pleasure as well. And Anna and I were just talking briefly before we got on, and just look at her beautiful hair. She's the epitome of happiness. So I love it. So let's get into what took you on this journey to do the work that you do today. If you could share a little bit of the background with our audience.
Yeah, of course. I came to this road with this thing in my chest that wants to just come out. I always felt that way. So emotions kept going me up and down the whole time. And I just want to make a difference. I knew that it was about making a difference. So when I moved to the US, I went to the world of UX design because it was a promise that you make a difference with that career and transform big challenges into opportunities. But then once I got in the field, the promise wasn't really reality. And then I decided to stop everything and just step back. And that's when I really, really delve into understand more about my emotions and why I was saying something, but I wasn't really acting according to what my higher self was actually saying through my words. So by delving into my emotions, I actually discovered my purpose, my passion, and that is just how it all began.
Wonderful. So, yes, again, taking it back to your learning and experiencing, and that's what brought you full circle to do the work that you do here today. So, that's wonderful. So, I've read that you have technology meets personal growth. I found this fascinating, transforming familiar items around you into instruments of healing. And you put things from everything from clothing to household items. Tell us a little bit about that.
That I have to be a little bit grateful to my career as a UX designer, because as UX designer, we are constantly find solutions for problem, as I said. So I saw a problem that in the society that we live in now, people don't really have time to do the inner work, right? Everybody's too busy. So I got that as a problem, and people are too busy to work on themselves, but I really want to
Mm.
help them. And with that, I started really coming up with different things. And as I was in school, we used to design lots of wearables. There was like bracelets and things like that. And then I started studying the power of affirmations. And I thought, well, what if you can use every single item that is surrounding us as a a device for healing. So when
Mm.
we're doing this, you're not really doing the work, but you are training our brain to learn what it needs to do. When I'm looking at a tip, has some powerful affirmations at a frame, at a pillow, at a t-shirt. And I also study about successful laws of the universe. And it's when we're giving is when we're really in our truth. So when you are wearing a shirt which has powerful affirmation, you are now giving this to somebody else. This other person
Mm.
is reading what's in your shirt, and now you are sparkling a little light in them. So you are automatically in this giving, receiving that is all part of the universe. And we all doing that without intentions, but when you really put the intentions behind that, that's when magic happens. So that was the idea that I had, and create that solution for not having time to do the work.
Mm. Fascinating. That makes total sense. I love that. To wear expressions of your affirmations. And by doing that, even if you forget what's on your shirt, someone will say, I love what your shirt says. I mean, I've often said that. And therefore you're
Exactly.
giving to that person, and then it reminds you of your affirmation. And I love the when you said placing household items as reminders here and there, simple items that you can use as triggers, at good triggers, to remind you of what you're manifesting. Oh, that reminded me of feng shui in a way, because
Yeah.
everything you have is energy. And what if you're surrounding yourself with garbage, let's say, or you've got so much junk around you, then that assaults your senses. But absolutely, that is so brilliant and so simple. Now, let's move on to self awareness and emotional intelligence. How does self awareness now influence our emotional intelligence journey? Because I know this is something that is key to understanding who we were and where we're going.
Very much so. It's this whole idea that we only know what we know, right? So if we are not aware of the parts that we don't know, we just stay in the philosophical mindset. Because our higher self is constantly guiding us, is telling us. So very often we say something thinking that that is referring to somebody else, but it's actually to ourselves. It's our higher self talking to us, and we stay lost in the mindset of just talking like we know everything. I have been there for sure. Just like speaking, and not really doing the actions. So being aware of the parts that we don't really know was in the beginner mindset. And when we're in the beginner mindset, that's when we allow ourselves to receive more. Because the human body is made with so much perfection. It's so beautiful that it automatically comes with this device that I call it, that it refuses any outside information, because we're supposed to only listen to the guidance, the internal guidance. And the more we have like difficulties in life, the more we block this, because we don't want to
Mhm.
really mess up with the beautiful being that we are. And to be aware of all of those different layers, like, okay, I'm now creating lots of resistance to learn more, because by being a warrior that I am, I have this already set by default. So it's to really start doing more exercise to open this door more and more and more and more. Because it doesn't matter if I say, like, okay, I know that I'm creating resistance. Okay, I know that I need to become aware. Okay, now you are aware that you have a problem of not being aware. Great, congratulations. Now, how can you move forward from this?
Right. Absolutely. Become aware that you're not aware. And that is the first step to becoming aware. You're right. Because we often let's face it, 99% of the world walks around unconscious, and we all react the way we've always reacted. It's just becomes a habit. And but we don't even know that we're doing this until maybe somebody says to you, why are you always so angry, or why are you always such in a bad mood? And I've experienced this with my sisters, and they'll go, "What do you mean? I'm not in a bad mood." And I go, "Well, yeah, you are." And then it's like they aren't aware that they're behaving that way. But yes, absolutely, I love that analogy, because that is the key. If we are unconscious and we don't really understand, we don't even know that we're not, that there's blockage, then how are we going to work to fix it? I love that. Thank you for that. Well, how do our feelings then inform our emotional intelligence, and how can we positively redirect them?
Mm. Our feelings is really everything that we learned here in planet Earth, right? We came here, they don't know nothing. It's just our connection with the divine. That's why kids are so pure. They just want to explore. What is this? What is that? What is that? They're so curious. And that's with time here on earth, we learn to have emotions, and our emotions start to like dictate us and of where we should go, where we should stay, and understanding that each one of our emotions have a message really to keep us
Mm.
safe, to keep us moving forward, to put us at at stop, but not to freeze, just to cautious, just how far we could go or not. So our emotions really just like this symphony that is just directing us in every one of the way. And by understand that is just being aware, great, but the emotions will keep coming because that is how it is to live in planet earth. So it's up to us to keep having exercise and practice that will keep us moving forward. A good way that I have to like really transform them from to a positive, so that keeps my moving forward, is to forgive ourselves, because we get into this
Mm.
clarity of where once we face our emotions, we get into this clarity. So now we can see things we couldn't see before. Like, oh, okay, now I see all the messed up thing I did in the past that I was protecting myself not to see it. Now I have to forgive myself for that to then move forward. So that is all these steps. But again, just by knowing it's not enough. That's why I called my company Must Take Actions, because it's like we need to take actions whenever we're aware of something. I'm sad. Okay, which actions I can do to get me out of it? Whatever it is
Right.
that you come up with a conclusion that you are, it's just right now. Now it gives you a chance to move forward by really consulting with yourself and what other humans who have already achieved what you are searching for. How can you move forward?
Yes, absolutely. That is so interesting that you said, once we understand the emotion that we are feeling, and if it is negative, then forgive ourselves. We become aware of the emotion, and then by forgiving ourselves for that, that lets us go to step into clarity and say yes. Is that
Yeah, I would like
is
to add a little bit more. This whole idea of like calling emotions negative and positive, that alone, it gets us
mm,
to want to refuse those emotions because we don't want to be the negative. We want to be the positive. Yay! So every emotions are valid. Emotions are all valid. They all have a
mm,
divine message with them. So when
right.
we classify them as negative and positive, it automatically creates this rejection. So it's important to be aware of that too, that emotions are emotions. We humans are the one who like to title. Everything needs to be in
Mm,
different boxes. And if it's not in the box, we don't know what it means. And we get confused. And that is a chance for us to step into the unknown. This thing is hitting me right now. It feels uncomfortable. I have no idea. Let me do some tapping, some exercise so that I can move through it, because I don't know where I'm going, but I know I'm on a journey here. So it's important to be aware of it, that as well.
mm. Thank you for that clarification. You're absolutely right, because they are messengers, and we don't want to put them in the box and label them. because by doing that, we are automatically putting something on them that maybe we need to listen to. Well, perspective and imagination, and we talked a little bit about this at the beginning. So, how big a role does our perspective and imagination play in transforming our emotions?
We go back to the whole point of knowing what we know, right? To have a perspective means I know what I know here, right? I have this perspective. So to be aware that it's like when we are having an argument with other people. I think argument is the most stupid thing because that is two different humans. One learn from A, the other one learn from B. So means you really didn't know anything when you came to this world. None of you. So everything that you know, you have been told by somebody else. And now you're so certain that that is the truth. It doesn't make sense, right? So when you talk about perspective, it's like, okay, I have this perspective here now, but in order to really use my imagination effectively, what can I do to widen my perspective so that I can actually create the life that I want and use my imagination, which is so, it's the most super powerful thing we have. Everything that we see, that we touch, that we do came from our imagination first. This is actually what makes us God. The connection is through our imagination. We just get too busy with so much distraction here and we forget that over and over again. And listen, it's not forget. I need to be reminding myself, to detox myself every day. Because otherwise it's too much distractions in planet Earth and detox us from this pure and beautiful being that we are. So it's important to understand that if you have a goal, you have a place to go, and we know that we can use our imagination and you keep doing, and you're not really moving, it just means that we need to wire your perspective so that you can actually start using your imagination more effectively.
Right. Yes. Our perspectives create our reality in a sense, because
Yeah.
how we see the world, how we feel the world is through, like you said, our learned perspectives. Because when we came to this earth, we didn't have any thoughts or ideas. And those were all learned through, your parents, your society, your culture. And you're right. We think that ours is correct, but using your imagination, you could create any world you want. So that was very insightful. Absolutely. Well, what is a prosperity mindset and how do we cultivate that? Speaking of imagination.
Prosperity, talking about perspective, we all have a different perspective on what it means. For me, it encompasses family, health, and wealth. Because when we really think about um, family, it's like nobody wants to really be in this world with wealth without have someone to share wealth with, and having the wealth and not have family makes no sense. Having the family have no wealth creates lots of stress, and health is a must. That is like we
Mhm.
don't argue on that. Everyone has to take care of this beautiful, amazing, powerful vessel that was has been given to us. So the prosperity I talk about is that encompasses all of it, and prosperity is a feeling, and every feeling is a choice. We choose to feel that. So it's about really embodying this feeling. And again, it's not something that we do once and it's done. That's a mistake I used to commit a lot in my life. That is just like, yeah, I'm feeling all so perfect, it's all good, I'm so colorful, I'm so bright, it's all perfect. But no, you have to consistent, because we live in a world that is like scarcity everywhere. So it's
Mhm.
energy that comes to us. So we need to box ourselves by continuing doing this exercise of embodiment. And a way of cultivating this is to really talk to yourself, like what is prosperity to you? Ask the question to you. and where is it located in your body, and in what color does it feels that have it to you, and what is a memory, and just expand this color into your body. Go off your body, go off your room, go over the world, go off the planet. As far as you expand this feeling, the more you are into it. But again, I repeat, it's not a thing that is once and done. It's a thing that we practice every single day. We make this choice every single hour. Put an alarm on your phone so that can remind you every hour, okay, I need to feel prosper, I need to feel prosper. And keep on doing it, because that's really the key. It's like to really train ourselves, detoxing of the things that doesn't matter. And that's what I call letting go, means the detoxing. And training ourselves to the life that we really want to have. Detoxing,
Yeah,
retraining. That's what we think.
absolutely. I always say life is a practice and we're here to learn. So that I love that. For me, what came out of that was paint a picture of what prosperity means to you, because a picture is worth 1,000 words. And I don't mean literally paint a picture. I mean, you can, but like you
Yeah.
said, what does prosperity mean to you? What does it feel like? What does it look like? What's the color of it? That gives it invokes your emotions. It invokes your perspective. And that's exactly what you want to do in order to release that energy into the universe so that you magnetize it, comes back to you. Absolutely. Yes, I love that. That's such a great exercise for everyone to do. So, moving on, I was so fascinated by this on your website. You have comedians in your brain. And I have a great sense of humor and, of course, imagination, just like you do. But I was talking with her earlier. So you say our brains are like nonstop comedy clubs with some very uninvited guests. These being our emotions. So that metaphor was just brilliant. And talk about using your imagination. So tell our audience a little bit about this, because for me, it was brilliant.
Well, when we think about our lives, it's more like a soap opera. It's totally a soap opera. It's like if we are able to detach our emotions out of ourselves, and we see like that is lots of drama, lots of tears, lots of up and down. The hero is doing well, the hero is not doing well, the hero is just like rocking the road, like, oh no, it failed again. So it's like really like a soap opera. So it's to allow ourselves to feel and to live this soap opera. to to just like, oh my god, I'm sad, I feel so sad right now, and it's okay, I'm crying, I'm feeling this thing that is really heavy, and I'm feeling it, I'm going with it, I don't know where I'm gonna go. Touch your tears and just go like grateful gratitude for having tears, which is a most effective releasing of our emotions, right? So uh I like using comedy because it's like fun. I think I come from a family that everything's like just comedy, everything just make fun of everything. And I came to America and I got into get very sad about everything, I have to say. And just like recently, actually, I started to really going all the way back again. And like, oh my God, I'm just serious. Isn't there water here? No. Let me go back and to just make fun of everything. And as I was writing the book, receiving the guidance of my higher self, that's one of the things that came to me a lot. You, in my book, you can see that the last two chapters is the one that really went more into the comic part of it. Because throughout the entire book, I was just being more serious, and then hit me, and they were like, "Oh my God, I didn't put the fun of it in the book, and I am more about funny." So I decided to do those two chapters that was all about funny, um, about being funny and then seeing things in a funny perspective, because it is a soap opera. If we really can take ourselves out of it, it's funny, really. It's like here and there, and it's like a roller coaster. So let's just embrace it. You're sad, feel sad. It's fine. Tomorrow, or the next month, or the next year, you're gonna get out of it. It just depends on you, on how long you wanna stay with it. But again, just by knowing, I repeat, it's not gonna do anything. So if you're feeling something, you are aware, congratulations. Now what?
Right. Yes, absolutely. Putting a character to the emotions, I think, really assists people in dealing with what they're going through. Just because, like you said, they can look at it from another viewpoint, and whether it brings a smile to their face or just say, okay, I'm in this act now, and sadness wants to take over, then all right, I get it. It'll
Give it the
soon end, and the
space.
yeah, I'm in this space, right? And the curtain will come down, and then I'll be in another space. Absolutely, yes. I could just see that as a put it on a graphic and be a cartoon. It would be brilliant. But thank you. Yes, I so enjoyed that. Now, you mentioned consistency. What do you say about consistency is the secret sauce that turns our dreams into reality? And what strategies can we use to be consistent?
Consistency, there's a different definitions for consistency in my view. And what I mean about consistency is sometimes we try to force ourselves to do things, and it doesn't work really. Every time that I really try to force yourself and to do things, and my work a little bit in the beginning, and then you are back again to not feel like doing it. So the consistency to me just means that you're not really aligned with your truth. You are allowing the pollution of this world and from you, the traumas to speak louder than our higher self. So by consistency, I mean consistently doing the work to detox ourselves. Because then the other one, it's easy. Comes like it's the path of easy resistance, really. When we
Mm.
really keep detoxing ourselves, that's why the meditation is important. That's why the walk in nature is important. That's why doing tapping exercise is important. That's why somatic exercise, anything that will help you into like you feel your consistency, and again it's the awareness like, okay, I am not feeling like doing this thing that I know I have to do. That means that fear is coming for a visit. All right, what is
Mm.
fear telling me now? Receive that message, do still some actions based on that level of that we are, because when we are feeling afraid, the level is not here, it might be a little bit in here, and it's all good. It's accepting all of it. So it's awareness, acceptance of where we are, and then step into like, okay, I already heard, I already did this. What can I do? Which practice can I do right now so that will help me to go back and to be connected with my truth, which will connect with my higher self, and then I'm the path of easy resistance again.
Mm. I love what you said, that when you're having that resistance, fear is paying you a visit. It's You're putting it in story form, which is what we associate with as humans. And that is really powerful, because it's like we have as human beings the potential to use that imagination where it's not available to any other species on the planet. And when you put it in a character form like that, okay, fear is paying a visit. It changes the dialogue in your head. And you say, okay, so now I'm aware that that's what's happening. And now I need to change that channel. But I love that you said that, because that really, for me, that really resonated. The story part of it and different characters. So absolutely. Now, you have a holistic approach to your programs. Give us an insight into what that means.
Yeah, by holistic, I mean like mixing the laws of the universe with our emotions, which is basically the laws of planet Earth. So by
Mm.
mixing those two, we can. become more like an observer of our own life, because we start to understand what each one of those stages of our life we're in, and just like accepted them instead of creating so much resistance. So in my approach, I go through the law of genders, which teach us that the feminine energy is for intuition and the masculine energy for action. They both need to walk together, like not take more one than the other. In my approach, I also use the law of transmutation of energy, which teaches that we can shift from one energy to another. In the law of polarities, which shows that without the dark, you cannot have light. So both are part of what we are. So if you feel an emotion that is not really comfortable right now, understanding the law of polarity make us understand, like, oh, this is necessary for my growth. I need to go through that now. I use the law of transmutation of energy to shift to this other energy. So by understanding each one of those, it put us in this place of the real director of our life, where we know, like, oh, this is the problem, this is the solution, this is the problem, this is the solution. By having all those tools in our hands, we just need to know exactly which tool we need to use for each one of the little problem, and makes things easier to keep moving forward, and knowing that we have a purpose and a mission, using our authentic skills and making the world a better place. That's what we all want to do, right? Sounds a little bit like cheesy to say, making the world a better place. Yeah, I don't worry about big words. I worry about big effort.
Mhm. Yes, absolutely. I love that approach. Yes, you're because often, especially in the Western culture, everything fits in a box. And we know that that is not the way life is. People like you and I. But I know you're laughing, but I know you've experienced it because you grew up in Brazil.
I have been
So
put
it
in a
is.
box. People try to put me in the box so many times, so many times. Oh my God, I understand. The thing that is we need to understand is, like, being different is what makes us us. It's like, if you somebody is acting differently, become curious instead of trying to put this person in the box. That's your clue, it's your cue to go, like, let me start asking more questions so that I can open my perspectives. That's the cue. Not to put this person in the box. And I have been tried to put in the box for so many times, that just gives me more power to become more of who I am.
I love that. Oh, you put that so well. And I love that you said, be curious, because that's the way my mind works. I'm always curious. It's like, okay, so tell me what you're all about. You're so unique. You're so different. That's what makes that. Those are the gifts that we come with, and those are the gifts that we need to embrace and find, like you said, because those are the ones that we have been granted to share with others. Yes, absolutely. I love that perspective.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about a program that you call Purposefully Abundant. Tell us about that program.
Yeah, it's very close to what we were just talking about, which is really being our mission, our authentic self, and our purpose. We all came to this world with a mission. Let's find out what it is. It's like, usually are those things that you have been more shamed for in this world. Usually those are your gifts, and the reason why you have been shamed is because you didn't fit in the box that everybody was trying to put us. So by not fitting this box, understand this, it becomes our superpower. You're like, oh, okay, this is what I need to do to really make this difference that I want to make, to put this fire that is like screaming to get out of my chest out into this world, and just create beauty And this program is to really help people who know that they have the mission, they understand that they have the power within them, but they, like, there's so much doubt and so for them to stay in the same place. And also, it's to get people to really get into the actions, because again, as I said in the beginning, sometimes we get lost in the philosopher mind, because by
Mm.
being purpose, sometimes we know our purpose, we know what to do, but we know so much and we stay lost in the philosopher mind, and we don't really step into actions. And this program is for that. It should help people to get out of the philosopher mind and into the action mindset, aligned actions. Again, use the law of the universe. That's another law that I like applying a lot, is to applying the law of aligned actions. And this law, it is one of my favorite, because it's the law where we need to face fear, because fear will come
Mm.
in and go like, oh, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to make money, we need, and we get out of our purpose, and sometimes we live a life that we really not happy with. So, but understanding the law of the universe to its core, it gives us power to do what we need to do, practice what we need to practice to face fear and stay into our aligned actions, because that's where we really will see the difference. It goes back to another law, which is the law of compensations, which says that our hard work will be compensated. Just keep on
Mm.
doing, keep aligning your actions, keep on moving forward, and it will all be compensated. Just keep on moving. So this program is really for that, is to get people basically out of the talking into the walking.
Mm. From the talking to the walking. Oh, that's brilliant. Absolutely. Yes, I could see that. But then have the faith that it will come. Like you said, the compensation, because many of us go through life, unfortunately, in a career, in a job that we hate. And I I was in my previous life, as I say, I was in the financial industry. And at that time, that was like over 25 years ago. They didn't talk about this kind of thing. When I grew up, this was, you get a job, you have it for most of your life, and then you retire. And I left that career after 5 years, and I was at the top of my game. I was a top producer. I had plenty of clients, and I had worked my butt off because I did very well. But something in me, Anna, just felt that I wasn't aligned to do it. And I didn't know the words at that time, because all of my colleagues were like, "What are you doing? Why are you leaving? You've got a great business here. You're making so much money." And I was like, "Yeah, but something's not right. I just feel like the life is being sucked out of me." And so I understand the alignment. And like I said, at the time, I didn't understand this work, and I didn't understand what was happening. But again, like you said, there's society, and there's the box, and there's the things that you need to do. And I guess I'm a bit of a rebel because I was like, screw the rules. I'm leaving. I don't care. Oh my gosh. I didn't know where I was
Yeah,
going, but I just said, I can't do this anymore. That's all.
yeah.
But so, yeah,
I did the
alignment is,
same.
you did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
My
for,
whole career,
good.
making apps, and I got this really good job, and I got this director. I got so fast into the top, and then I left everything. And people are like, "Oh my God, you come to America! You spent such a long time. I spent 10 years in school in America, got 2 degrees, and I got all this time to just drop everything." I'm like, "No, you guys are happy to see me that way, but I am not happy to live it this way. So I'm dropping."
Yeah. Well,
And
we're,
yeah,
we're
I totally feel you.
kindred spirits in that regard. Because yeah, there's lots of people that just stay on the course. And I understand that too, but that's why we're here. But thank you so much for that eye opener, that yes, the alignment is very important. And once we align ourselves, that have the trust and let the doubt go, that things will come together, and the compensation will be there, because the more you're in lack, the more you're going to attract that energy. But the more you feel abundant, the more you're going to attract exactly what the universe has put here for you. So absolutely. Now, I
Yeah,
did you want to say
I'm just
something?
gonna
Go
add
ahead.
that. I just gonna add that very quick. It's that's why I say that my approach it's science and spirituality, because this is not even about the spirituality. It's not just about having faith. To me, faith it's like a spiritual thing. Yes, I do have, and we must, of course. Um, when I talk about this, it's really science, because science, when
Mhm.
you talk when you think about uh, scientific approach shows us that something that has been done over and over again give us the same results. So when you talk about the law of compensation, we understand that when something is done over and over again, it gives us the same result, which means if you work, hard work with intention, you have a beautiful why you are doing this, you will get the result. And that's not just about believing. This is about science. This is like you're taking notes of like I did this, the result is this. I did this, the result is that. Like, oh, okay, so that means that when we do this, that's gonna be the result. And that's really not about spirituality alone. It's about science.
Right. Well, thank you for that clarification. Yes, because there is a lot of science that backs this, and I'm completely with you. And I do believe very much in the quantum science and what is available to us that is way beyond the realm of uh, what the average individual thinks today. But science is now proving that all of that is available to us as humans. We are, like you say, much more powerful than we think, because yeah, you're right. I love it. So, moving on, Anna, about your book. I love the title, by the way, Emotional Liberation. I just love that. It says it all. Tell us about your book. And it's the title, the full title is Emotional Liberation: Mastering the Art of Releasing Anger, Sadness, and Fear. And it's about a path to transformation and self-discovery. So tell our audience a little bit of what they can expect in the book.
This book again was part of the solution problem mindset that I have. Like people don't really have time to do the inner work. They don't have time to read. We have like two type of people: those who don't read at all, or those who buy a bunch of books but never really read them. They're just like collecting books. So this book was created with lots of bullet points so that we can just check the piece of the information that we need and step into action. So it has more than 100 exercises so that we can really get out of the talking and into the walking, as I was saying, to take the actions. Because just by knowing, we don't really need another class. We don't really need to more knowledge. We need to take actions into the knowledge you have already acquired. So this book was created because I realized myself that by being this bright, colorful being that I am, I wasn't really allowing for the message to come to me through my emotions, not in an easy way. So every time that it came, I was doing my everything I could to reject them, and I had to really go into bottom, as you guys call, as you guys say, to really accepting those emotions. And as I was saying before, it's about really taking the actions every day consistently and to really start
Mm.
to see this clarity. So by writing this book, I it's my way of like sharing this with this world where like, okay, you don't have time to do the inner work, it's all good. You can just get a book where you can just go straight to the exercise, get a little bit of a bullet points, kind of like social media, right? You just read the headline and then you understand a little bit and step into the action. So we don't need more knowledge. We really need to step to the actions, and that's how I created this book. Was just being guided to create this book this way.
Mm, I love that. A book with exercises and action steps. Yes, absolutely. And the bullet points. I mean, yes, we do have a we have a minute attention span. Let's put it that way. It's not small, it's minute. But, often I'll flip through a book and I'll see an inspiring quote or an inspiring bullet point, as you say, and it resonates with me. So personally, I really love that. I love that there are bullet points that you can read and get inspiration from it, or even motivation or influence in some way. So sounds wonderful. I can't wait to pick up a copy, actually. So, Anna, tell our audience how they can connect with you, your social media, newsletters, websites, and we'll have all of this on the bio pages as well.
Yes, I have the website Must Take Actions, where you can learn more about me and more about my classes. There's more classes that are coming up soon. I'm just now in the middle of like transforming things into more a prosperity. It's gonna be a even bigger part of my website. So you can contact me and get into my mail list, masttakeactions.com. You can also find me on Instagram, masttakeactions. I also have a personal account that is called Brazilian Spiritual Ninja. That's the account that I actually showed my entire transformation when I really started posting everything. Like as I was going through the process, I was posting, so I had to deal with the rejection, which taught me to completely silence the outside noise and just listen to the inside noise. So everything had a purpose on what I had done. And this account, Brazilian Spiritual Ninja, is where you can see all of this process. Also on Facebook, Anna Massette, and I have this group that I'm just now starting that is called Mastering Unconditional Self-Trust, because that's really the path to connect with our true self. And this is a way that you can all reach me out.
Sounds wonderful. Well, thank you for that. And if you had one message that you could share with the world, Anna, what would it be?
This was what started my whole process. Really, this quote came to me that it says, "Trust yourself more than you trust the stories that you have been told." So it really doesn't matter what you think it is. Ask yourself questions over and over and over again until you get really good at asking yourself questions and come up with the truth. So trust yourselves more than you have been trusting the stories that you have been told.
Yes, that is key. Absolutely. Dive deep into the discovery of you, for sure. Well, because we're here on the Epic Vision Zone, Anna, I have one last question. If your life were an epic story, what would the title be?
It's funny for you to ask this question because I was thinking about this about 2 weeks ago. Like, what would be a movie about me? Because I really visualized that as some type of a documentary, knowing where I come from, where I am now, and what I have achieved so far. And that's just the beginning. A title that would be From Nothing to Everything.
I love that. From nothing to everything. Oh, yes. From no thing to everything. Yes. That's wonderful. Thank you for that. So, again, thank you, Anna, for joining us here today. And once again, for all of Anna's information and to connect with her, go to the Epic Vision Zone bio pages where you will find all of her social media and direct contact information. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at Jane Applegath and visit me on my website at janeapplegath.com, where you can access your free downloads, Creative Power, and Vision Play. Sending you much love and gratitude. This is the Epic Vision Zone, transforming your lives into epic success.